Ease your mind, make you no go kill yourself. When you go make them, now only God go know. You dey try, make you no go lose yourself. No go stress yourself, cause no be you get yourself. Oh Lord, say now you go forgive me peace, everything.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nice Corner. Hope you guys are wonderful and you are blessed. And you guys know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you can keep up with everything in Nice Corner. And what else? Do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything, guys. And this video is basically, I got so many wonderful, lovely DMs from people, and just shout out to my wonderful subscribers and my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Welcome to Nice Corner. I'm bringing you in my corner. Thank you so much. And the messages were just absolutely wonderful and heartwarming for both me and my mom. And I got DMs and requests of doing a part 2, and shout out to Peace. Peace sent a message saying that she would have loved to hear like the miracles, kind of like a more extensive video dealing with our last video, part 1, talking about how we came here. And we didn't want to make the video too long. It was long enough.
It was long enough.
But I've been getting DMs from people that they wanted to hear more, kind of like about our experiences and really the goodness of the Most High and testimonies that we actually do have. So here's my mother again.
I'm back again.
Again. She is back again. Just really going over kind of like a little more extensively of things that happened to us and really the goodness of the Most High and really encouragement for those of you out there. So please go into
Should I get into it? Well, first, before I get into it, my little muffin here is not feeling her very best today.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not, and it's not
It's not
COVID.
COVID, guys,
okay, it's not COVID. There are other illnesses other than COVID.
So please forgive me for being a little bit under weather.
She's a little low energy, you know, but yes,
we're gonna press through and we're gonna get this
absolutely
done.
Because it's so interesting with this video. We actually taped it yesterday, and I have to say this: we have never had the problems that we have had with getting a video out.
Yes.
That we haven't faced these kind of problems before. The one that you guys saw, the last one that you saw, we actually had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah.
With the camera, we have never had a problem with our camera in terms of being able to film. And we turned around and had another problem. It was like one thing after another with that video, and kind of we're noticing kind of a repeat with this one, you know. But that's something with the enemy. We know that's what it is, right?
And you know, we're here to do the Most High's work,
right?
And to be an encouragement for others.
Yeah. So we're just gonna press through. We're gonna press on, and I know this video will be fine. We decree and declare that.
That's
okay,
right.
so
That's right.
All right, so getting into this, first of all, I do want to say a big heartfelt rest in power to the late President Jerry Rawlins.
Yes.
Ghanaian President Jerry Rawlins, great warrior. Always admired him. You know, I know not everything he did was right, but I consider him a warrior. So rest in power. Okay, so let's get into the miracles that Peace wanted to know about. And I don't know if everyone wants to hear this, but again, I think that it's meant for certain people that they need to hear it. That's why this video, I think, was fought so much, because this is information that some people need to hear. And we didn't get into, we actually edited out, I edited it out of the last video when we talked about the favor that we received when we made it to LAX in Los Angeles, when we were coming here. We had about 8 nice-sized suitcases. We flew Emirates, and we read all the rules, and we knew that we were going to have to pay for our luggage because some of our luggage was a little overweight because we were bringing, you know, our personal things, our clothing, and all that kind of stuff. So when we got to the counter, the agent, She weighed the bags, and she told me to just take a few things out of one bag, but I knew all of them were heavy. We were supposed to pay a few $100s for our luggage. We had averaged it out. We paid absolutely nothing.
I was floored, guys. I was like, are you serious? I've never even heard of this before.
It was, and one of those pieces of luggage had a desktop computer in it. Nice size desktop computer in it. So it was heavy. And they didn't charge us anything. So that was number one. I was
kind of like, whoa, you know?
Yeah, that was number one. Number two, when we made it here to Ghana, speaking of that same piece of luggage that had the desktop in it, when we got to the last agent, just before we left outside of the airport here in Ghana, he asked me what was in it, and I told him, you know, and he was like, this is very, very heavy. You can't take this through. And I was like, you mean to tell me I can't take it? And he was like, well, you know what, I'll let you take it through for 1,400 CDs. And we hadn't converted our money over to CDs yet. So I was like, oh my gosh. I said, and I like talked to him for a little while. He ended up letting me go through with that piece of luggage, and we didn't have to pay anything.
And being here in Ghana for a little while, we're like, okay, that's
rare.
Because, you know, you want a little money.
Yeah, a little cash.
For things,
that was really something. Another miracle that happened for us is when we saw the place that we live in now. I saw it on Jumia, and I loved the pictures. I was like, oh, this actually looks a little different than most of the accommodations that we had seen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the accommodations that we saw, but we've kind of noticed it kind of through Ghana with a lot of places, there's not a lot of natural light. We're really natural light people. We like a lot of windows, and we're used to a lot of windows and natural light. And a lot of places we saw were really kind of dark.
And really kind of like, just first and foremost, shout out to Peter. He is such an awesome
Peter
landlord.
is who owns the place where we live.
He is such an awesome landlord. He is wonderful.
Much love to you,
love
Peter.
Him. He pays attention to certain aesthetics, you know. So when we went into our place, we were kind of like, you know, we kind of liked, you know, the molding on the ceilings. It was really some place where I was like, oh, okay, I feel like I could be home
we
here.
can call it home.
Yeah.
And so anyway, on our way to take a look at it the first time, we stopped at an ATM. A friend of ours brought us. Hey, Francis.
We love you.
We love you, Francis. Francis, one of our friends, Ghanaian friends here, he borrowed his cousin's car. He brought us up because he knew we wanted to see it. But I asked him to stop by the ATM because we needed to get some money. So went to the ATM and discovered that we only had $76 in our account.
Shocker.
And it was like, oh my gosh.
How
are we gonna live? But
yeah.
that came from us looking at our money in dollars instead of CDs.
That's why we were saying people who are looking to come here to live, please look at your money in CDs. Don't look at it in, you know, dollars, pounds, whatever currency that you're coming from. Because, I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there, it adds up.
Because it doesn't seem like it's that much when you look at it in your money, but actually it is. And yeah, definitely, you don't want to do that. So $76. And that was in what? We had been here how long?
Here maybe about 6 months.
Was it 6 months?
You know,
I don't even think it was 6 months.
Yeah, maybe been about 5-6 months, and I was really scared. I was like, you know, do we have to go back?
Right.
You know?
Now I bought a round trip ticket for both of us. It was not to come back. I have my own reasons for buying round trip tickets for both of us, but we did have round trip tickets. So, but we had no intentions of
we didn't want to go
going back.
So,
you know, so it was really scary. Yeah, it was scary. It was like, how are we gonna live? How are we going to? What are we gonna do? So anyway, Niger said, well, let's just go back home. But there was something in my spirit that said, no, go take a look at the place. So we got here, we looked at the place, fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Which made it even more heartbreaking.
It was like torture, y'all. It was like, okay, why are you torturing me this way? Okay, it's a place that I finally a place that we like, that we could call home, and it's like now it looks like that we maybe can't get it.
We maybe
because
can't
we have
get it.
$76 to our name.
We fell in love with the view because we have an ocean view from our place, and we were sick. We were really sick. So we went home. We were both in a state because $76 in our bank account, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? So I went into prayer, and I mean deep prayer. I went into deep prayer, and the Holy Spirit directed me to take the money that we had, which was a few. We had just at home. We had like a few thousand CDs,
yeah, wow.
and I was instructed to spread it over the bed. I had some blessed oil. I was instructed to put this blessed oil over the money and pray over it. Well, I didn't know why. I'm obedient, so I just did it. And went into prayer. And 1 week after that happened, I get a call from my best friend who is in the States. Hey, Barb, love you. She called me because all my mail goes to her address. And she was like, Verlicia, you have a
letter?
A letter from a lawyer's office. And I was like, okay. And it was actually from my sister's lawyer's office, which is a whole nother story. It's connected with my mom. And we are going to do a video about that. We are going to do a video about how the enemy is breaking up families. Because I've talked to, even before I left the States, talked to a lot of friends, different people who were at odds with their family members. I mean,
Yes.
seriously. And we went through it with my mom and my sister. And we even had to take her to court.
It was a bitter feud.
It was a very bitter feud.
We
went,
kind of got ugly.
It got very ugly because we were fighting for my mom. We were fighting for her health, which she wanted. Okay, just a little bit. She wanted to kill her. Okay, she wanted to. It's a whole thing.
Whole story.
It's a whole thing. But she had custody through a living trust. But through
It was through a
power of attorney. Went to court. They threw out the power of attorney, and we got custody of my mom because we wanted to take care of her. We wanted to make sure that she got the proper care, and she did.
That was another situation where the Most High really showed up and showed out for
He
us.
did.
So we'll definitely get more
We'll get into that because that's actually a very interesting story. But anyway, so got this letter, and Barbara asked me, do you want me to email it to you? What do you want me to do with it? I said, I want you to open it because I trust her. That's my sis. And I said, I want you to read it. And she did, and we discovered we had some inheritance coming to us that we weren't.
I mean, we didn't expect it.
We didn't expect it because my sister really went through all my mother's money, which my mother had a little money, but she went through most of it.
Yeah.
But there was a
Mind you,
little left.
This was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
We
didn't
left all
think.
that behind.
Yeah, we did.
In California.
Sometimes you have to pick your battles,
Yeah.
and money is not a paramount thing for us. So it was like you take it, and you be blessed.
Right.
Okay, because we're gonna be blessed. So I'm not even worried. And so anyway, that came through for us. And about a week after we got that, I got in touch with her attorney, and they sent it to us, and we were fine.
That was amazing. I mean, we didn't even see it coming.
No,
we really
it came out of
We didn't see
nowhere.
it coming. It came through in the 99.9th hour.
It truly did.
Literally, it really did. I was like, okay, we have to go back. I was like, really, we have to go back because we don't have enough money to sustain
Right.
it.
But
And look
no.
at what he did.
Look at what he did. That's how we got Roxy. That's our car. That's how we got Roxy. And I remember the night that when we got home after we saw the place where we live, I went into prayer and I asked the Most High if it was His will to hold that place. Don't let anybody rent it. Don't let anybody rent it. And I guess we came back about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, maybe about 2 or 3
after,
months. After we saw it,
right.
we got the money,
And it might have even been 4 months. It was a while because we were doing other things and we ended up taking a trip. So it was a little while. Came back, place had not been rented. It was like it was sitting there waiting for us, and we were able to get into it, and you know, it really was a miracle for us.
It really was literally a miracle.
It was.
I couldn't even have, that could have been nobody but the Most High.
But the Most High. So, okay, so fast forward, this is a current blessing, miracle, favor that we're sitting in today. When COVID-19 hit, we're technical writers, and we work of course, from home, but the company that we work for got hit very hard during the lockdown, and work contracts slowed. And we were like, okay, and it slowed right at the time when our 1 year rent was due on our place. So we were like, we can't pay the rent.
It's like perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Of course.
We can't pay the rent. And we were like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And of course, went into prayer. And I ended up calling Peter, the man who owns the place, because I don't like to owe people money. I really don't. And if there's a problem, I like to face it and let that person know this is what's going on right now. So sure enough, we called him. He came over, we talked to him and told him the situation. And he was like, well, COVID is hitting everyone, because he's a businessman. COVID is hitting everyone, and, you know, I understand, so, you know, don't worry about it, which was a miracle within itself. Well, about 2 months after that, we were starting to get work, but it wasn't like we were getting it before. It was kind of like enough work just for us to live.
Right.
So I was like, I don't see how we're gonna pay Peter. I just don't see it, and I've got to tell him. So called him over again, talked to him about it again. I even told him that we were considering selling Roxy so we could get the money and give him his money. And he was like, I'm not even hearing about anything like that.
I mean, he was so amazing. He really displays the heart of Christ, of a believer.
He does.
And I mean, because he could very easily have been like, well, you know.
If we were in the States, pack up your mess and get out.
Getting out.
Right.
But with him, he was like, no, I own this. This is mine.
That's what he said. He said, I say who can live here
and who doesn't.
And he told me, Mama, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, because he knows me. He knows whatever I owe him, I will pay him. He knows that I'm good for it. But he was like, don't even worry about it. Just stay. Just live. And, you know, if everything works out, it works out. But don't worry about it. He said, I don't want you to stress yourself. And we're living in that miracle, that favor right now. We're not even paying for the place where we live. So, you know, we're saying all that. It was peace.
It was peace.
Peace. That's how the miracles and the favor has been manifesting for us. And again, you know, the thing about favor is better than silver and gold.
It sure is, yeah.
And if you're walking, I'm not perfect. No, I'm far from perfect. But I know right now I'm walking in obedience. I'm doing what he told me to do. Even though
just by moving here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm doing it. Wasn't planning on doing it, but I'm doing it. And he is carrying us through this whole situation. He has been so remarkable to us. He has been so remarkable to us.
It's like he's the source and people are the resource.
Right.
You know, and Peter
That's right.
is that resource, but the Most High is the source.
He's definitely the source.
You know.
So again, this is why the enemy was fighting this video, because some people need to hear this. That's why I was saying in the other video, you don't really need to be afraid. You step out on faith. And like she said in another one, faith without works is dead. So you step out on faith. I'm stepping out on him through everything we're going to go through this world transition that we're going through, because things are changing. I said that in the other video, and I know what I know, because I know what the Most High has shown me, and I also know what His Word says. Things are changing.
Yeah.
And we're getting to a time where all we can do is rely on Him and lean on Him, and not to our own understanding, but lean on Him, because some things don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Some things don't make any sense. Makes sense to Him. Okay, but it doesn't make sense to us. But it doesn't have to make sense to me. If you tell me to do it, Father, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it with no questions asked.
Well, that leads me to something else, and this is shout out to Taco Boom Room. Shout out to you. A question that Taco Boom Room asked was, how do you really, in terms of the Most High, in terms of discernment, how do you kind of like discern the Most High's voice? How does He really speak to you? How do you know that it's Him?
Okay, we all know that He talks in a very still voice. And unfortunately, the environment that the enemy has set up for us in the cities and the way that we live, very hectic. It's very noisy.
Always on the go.
Always on the go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that can hinder you from hearing His voice. Now, I'm going to say something that some people might say, oh, no, that's not true. But all I can do is speak from my experience. If you disagree, that's fine, because we can agree to disagree. That's not a problem. But when it started for me, when I really started hearing Him, because I'm an ordained pastor, I was an assistant pastor at a ministry in California, and it was really interesting what He did, because I knew the Word, had read the Word many times, quoted scriptures and the meaning of these, or interpretation of the scripture. But what He did was really remarkable. When I really started hearing Him clearly is when I came out of church.
Ooh,
that's
a
when
big one.
I came out of church, with that organized religion. Once I came out, it was almost like He took me, because I had the time. He took His time
Right,
teaching
it was almost like
me.
kind of like in a way teaching from scratch.
From scratch.
Yeah.
And I started to see a different interpretation of scriptures that I had quoted for years. He took me into the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. He took me into, because I love research, He took me into another type of way to hear His voice, actually. And things began to get so much clearer for me. He took me into scriptures that like I said, that I had read many times, even going through the minor prophets, the major prophets, Revelations, which a lot of churches don't teach. Not all churches, there are some churches that do, but there are a nice number of churches that don't teach from Revelations.
Right, that's what I say. It's hard to kind of understand. It's hard to follow Revelations.
But after I had that time with Him, it was when I was caring for my mom, so I was at home a lot by myself, other than my mom being there, but she was bedridden. So I'd care for her, and then I would have my time, and I went through that period.
Yeah.
I'd have my time, really have my time with Him. And after He started to show me another interpretation of things, that's when actually the Word started making more sense. It gained a new meaning for me, and I was close to the Most High before, but I got closer to Him. I got closer to Him. So to answer her question, it was just me really stealing away. with him.
Well, you know, it's really interesting you would say that stealing away, because I'm not putting this out there, a generalization of all churches, but a nice number of churches, you know, kind of aren't really preparing people, you know, for what's about to happen. It's the same old bit. And some people have been hurt in churches. I'm not saying you have.
Oh no, I've never been hurt in church.
But some people have. Some people are kind of like, hold up, wait a minute. What I'm kind of picking up in my spirit, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And kind of with church, it shows that you don't have to necessarily go to a building to go to church. And really the Most High, because a lot of people I've noticed that I've spoken to are leaving the church in record numbers. It's really crazy. They're just like, you know what? And they are becoming closer to the Most High and really dissecting His Word. And really figuring out, like, okay, so this is what this means. So it's almost as if, you know, kind of like the Most High is picking out His people, kind of like you said, stealing away His people for kind of like a greater purpose.
And it's for this time.
It's for this particular time.
Because
exactly.
we're going through a specific season right now that I know that people want everything to go back to normal, but that is not going to happen. Okay, that's not going to happen. There's a paradigm shift in the spirit realm that's manifesting itself on this earth, you know, in the physical. There's a paradigm shift that's going on and this COVID-19 was the catalyst. And things are changing.
Yeah,
things are changing.
Things are changing.
So, you know, with that, like you said, there are people that are coming out of the church, and I'm not saying, you know, if you're not led to do it,
right,
you know, we're not talking to you. But, and like I said, with this, we will probably agree to disagree. I don't debate the word because we're told not to in the word. So I don't argue the word at all. I really, really don't. If this is what you believe, that's what you believe, you know, and that's fine.
You know, we all have our different beliefs, so
absolutely,
you know, it's cool.
But we have to also look at it from this standpoint. Through colonization, through slavery, we were given the interpretation of our book by someone else.
Exactly.
So we have to actually really look at it like that because it is the truth.
It is the truth.
Okay,
it's the truth. It is our book, and kind of we've been brainwashed where, you know, some of us have been brainwashed where, oh, well, this has to do with other people. I mean, I thought that when I was younger. Oh, well, this is pertaining to other people. This really doesn't have anything to do with me and my lineage.
Especially that Old Testament.
But actually, it has
everything
to do with us. And our lineage, where we came from, and who we are in the eyes of the Creator.
See, and having that time alone with Him, He showed me who I am.
Exactly.
And that was, oh gosh, that was one of the most liberating, I think, things that I have ever experienced.
Wow.
Because then He helped me to be able to see the world from a different perspective.
Right.
Not from the perspective that we're handed, but through another lens. A lens that is more in line with Him.
Exactly.
Because the lens we're given is not, that's of the world. It's not in line with Him.
It's kind of skewed.
It's a lot of it is just straight out lies.
Right.
But through His lens, through His word, and through that mind of Christ. So, so I don't mean to preach or anything like that, and that's not my intent. But I know that somebody, even if it's one person, someone needs to hear this.
And that's really the blessing, you know, from it. And you know, if it just reaches like just one person, that's
fine. But I believe that's why we've been fought so much with that last video and with this one.
Because we really have.
And then I want to also give a shout out to Cece. Cece sent a message, a comment. And Cece, if you're listening to this video, you really touched my heart. all of the comments, beautiful comments, touched my heart. But your comment was so in the spirit in terms of me.
Very much so.
Okay, in terms of me. And he confirmed something through you.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the Most High, and I want to thank you for your obedience in sending that comment through.
It was almost like you knew her, Cece. It was, you know, it was kind of like your spirit of discernment is awesome.
It
like
really is.
You really spoke into your life and really the mission the Most High has you on. You read it like a book, Cece, for her.
You really did.
So, I mean,
really
the comment
did.
blew me away.
Yeah,
It really
me
did.
too.
It blew me away.
So thank you for that.
It blew me away. But I'm, you know, like I said, this video is for who it's for. Again, I hope this video finds everybody well. This video is for who it's for. Definitely you can reach out to both me and my mom. We have all of our information in the description box. And just for my brothers and sisters out there, you know, in the diaspora, even on the continent, just anywhere, you know, definitely stay encouraged.
That's right.
We're here to be a support system to one another and to share our experiences. So please, you know, definitely like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe and comment. We would love to hear your comments.
Love to hear your comments.
You know, and your experiences. And please share this video with others, you know, who may be discouraged about anything. You know, just really displaying the Most High's goodness, and He will definitely be there for you. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Cupcake.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.